Okay. So welcome everybody. So we'll call the meeting to order. And I will start with the land acknowledgement. The Ganaraska Region Conservation Authority respectfully acknowledges that the land on which we gather is situated within the traditional and treaty territory of the Mississaugas and Chippewas of the Anishinaabe, known today as the Williams Treaties First Nations. Our work on these lands acknowledges their resilience and their longstanding contribution to the area. We are thankful for the opportunity to live, learn, and share with mutual respect and appreciation. I will ask for any pecuniary interest. I'll make sure there are none. And the next is the minutes of the last meeting of November 8th, 2024. So that's the last regular meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder for those? Moved by Tracy. Seconded by Mark. Is there any discussion? No, no takers. All right. And the adoption of the agenda. Oh, sorry, a vote for the minutes. All in favor? And that is carried. And the adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
By Randy, seconded by Adam. Any discussion about the minutes? Or the agenda, sorry. And I'll ask for all in favor. That is also carried. Business arising from the minutes, we have none. Delegations, none. Presentations, none. Correspondence, none. Applications under Ontario Regulation 41-24 and the Conservation Authorities Act. Permits approved by the executive. The schedule is attached. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please?
I have a question.
Moved by Adam, seconded by Joan. Was that your hand?
Yes.
All right. And any discussion, please?
Chair, just a question with regards to a permit applying to 103 3rd Street, which is Coburg Harbor. There's quite a bit of work that's scheduled to happen in the Coburg Harbor with regards to dredging, and I just was looking for clarification if this permit, which is described as routine maintenance, it covers all the work that's being done, or whether it's one of several permits, because my understanding was routine maintenance is about 6,000 cubic meters, and I understand that we're looking at 20,000 cubic meters of dredge being moved. And I did advance the question to
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Ken is joining us remotely
Okay.
today, Madam Chair.
Great. So Ken, are you able to answer that?
Absolutely. Through you, Madam Chair. The regardless of the statement there being routine maintenance, a permit to be issued has to meet all applicable tests. That being flooding, erosion, dynamic beaches. Once those tests are met, then the permit is issued. So the work that's being proposed in conjunction with the dredge operation is consistent with GRCA's policies, which is why the permit was issued.
Thank you.
so it doesn't cover quantity.
Not
And how long is the permit for?
the permit has been issued for a period of 2 years.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussions about the permits? Okay. So I will ask then for the vote. All in favor? And that is carried. Committee reports, we don't have any. New business, recreational user committee's terms of reference update. There is a staff report. We don't have Lance with us, but I will ask for a mover and a seconder for that one. Moved by Adam. Seconded by Randy. Any discussion about the terms of reference? And Joan?
Just a couple of things. When I looked at the quorum, isn't the quorum usually half plus one? And I noticed here that it's just half.
Madam Chair, that has been the quorum that we've had. I don't know if Pam wants to speak to that, but that is
Yeah, that's you, Madam Chair, we've always been using the 50%. Now, if it is an uneven number, we do round up so it represents a full person. So maybe by default, that's a little bit of a +1, but we do hold that 50% all rounded, I guess.
And
number.
the other question is, with somebody that attends and doesn't vote, I thought that was a negative vote. If you don't vote, then you're not voting for it. And this is just not being counted as a vote, either a negative or full.
Madam Chair, do you need to abstain from voting? Is that?
I think this, I mean, it's to abstain from a vote while they're present, is that what you mean, John?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I should have called these in. Just going over it at the last minute. Just somewhere it has on here about voting privileges.
On page 6, I believe you're referring to. All motions and voting.
Voting members. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've got on page 12, or am I even in the right place? The terms of reference.
Yeah, it's an abstention, that's what it says, abstains from voting.
Through you, Madam Chair. So there is on, under 3.5 motions and voting, it says if any member who is qualified to vote abstains from voting, they shall be deemed to have neither, or to have voted neither in favor nor opposed to the question, which will not alter the number of votes required for a majority.
Oh,
Is that what
okay. And I thought if you don't vote, it's a negative vote, but maybe that is in another part.
in a recorded vote situation.
Yeah.
For municipal.
I didn't know if you followed the municipal act for these terms of references.
We don't necessarily, we follow our administrative bylaws in most instances for these, which may differ.
Be a
from
little bit different.
municipal act.
Thank you. That was just my questions.
Thank you. Is there any, has this ever been a problem in the?
Madam Chair, no, so we've never had anybody who is eligible vote not vote. We also don't have a lot of motions that require voting either, like usually it's received for information. I'm almost wondering, and I can double check this back to our to where I was looking at this stuff. Pecuniary interest, so that if you aren't allowed to vote on a topic because you removed yourself, then it is a no, that is a neutral thing. So we can double check that word abstain is maybe the right one.
No.
But
A member may abstain.
okay.
Yeah, they do abstain.
So,
The member has a right.
do you mind?
Go ahead.
Just for clarity, I believe it does say in there will not alter the amount of votes that are required, so if you needed 4 before and somebody abstains, it's still gonna require 4. Is that not what it's saying? So basically it's a vote against. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Will
not
not,
for or favor, so you're not saying.
it will not alter the number in favor. If there's 10 people present, somebody abstains, you still need 5 to pass it.
Yeah.
It doesn't reduce it.
So may I just ask, I don't want to overcomplicate things, if there is a quorum is at 50% and someone abstained, potentially the number of people voting could be under quorum, could it not? Would that not be a?
But you still need the same majority to vote. Like if you could be under quorum, but you still need that same amount of votes to pass the motion.
Oh, right.
It doesn't
Okay.
reduce it to a
Okay.
non-quorum number,
All right.
if you understand what.
Yep.
Sorry.
Randy?
Unless this has changed, it's obviously been in power for quite a while, so I don't see anything new, it just happens to be slightly different from what some of us are used to, that's all. Yeah.
Chrissy?
Yeah, can I just ask another questions when if we're on the recreational users committee, can I just ask a question regarding that? We have some outstanding, members missing from municipalities, which I think you do for Cortha. Should we not be posting through the clerk's office trying to advocate for someone to fill that position, or is that your jurisdiction?
Through you, Madam Chair, it is the municipality that posts for those people
Yeah, no, I'm just.
or person.
I think we're still outstanding.
Oh,
What
okay.
I'm saying, so I'm
Yes.
gonna have to circle back to the clerk's office and ask for it to be revisited, just when I'm looking at
Yes.
that. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments regarding the? Adam?
I'm just curious about the removing responsibility of trail maintenance and what that entails.
Yeah, to you, Madam Chair. That I believe was under, so on page 1 of the term was referenced under purpose. The second part, that said the Ganaraska Forest Recreational User Committee will also carry out work to, I forget the full sentence, but it's actually to do trail maintenance.
Oh, just to do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it
not
was-
over, okay.
Yeah, so we don't do that in our meetings, but we could always consider.
So we do.
Yeah, no, just not the right place to put that. But of course, I'll just add that if anybody, including our community members, would like to volunteer to do that, other stuff can allow that to happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great discussion. Joan?
Just again, I apologize because as I was reading the voting members, I'm seeing the group itself, the committee itself has I've got the chap's name down here, Gallagher. He's the chair. But then do you also have members from all these organizations sitting on there as well, like the Federation of Anglers and Hunters, the Trail Riders, the ATV Club, the Snowmobile Club? Is there a person from each one of those groups sitting on this committee?
Through you, Madam Chair. There should be, we ask for those appointments. In some cases, as was said, when there's a vacancy, like City of Kawartha Lakes, there currently isn't anybody, but we're asked, we would like people to be sitting on. So we do ask all of these organizations to appoint one person that will represent that organization and that use, mainly the use. Because they could appoint them from representing them from someplace else. And then it's a vote per use, rather than, we don't do all the organizations under one use, because then you could have 5 ATV groups. So it's one vote.
Right.
Use.
And would they be, sorry, to you, Madam Chair, which I haven't done yet. Sorry. Would you list these people that sit or where there is a vacancy for this user group?
Through you, Madam Chair, on the minutes of the committee, they're always, and on the agendas, they always say, list the person's name and the group they're representing. And then down below, Pam, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they list where there are still vacancies from groups that are not represented.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Through you, Madam Chair. Just an addition on that is the minutes for all the user committees can be found on our website as well, under the governance. So you can see those, you can click on user, and then you can see the list of who's currently on there and who's representing those organizations, if that helps.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, so there's no other discussion. We're receiving this information. No, you're approving. We're approving. Oh, yes, of course. So I'll call the vote for the approval of the terms and reference. And that is carried. Next is the Ganaraska Forest Liquor License. Yeah. That, who wants to remove that?
As a former chair of the Alcohol and Gaming Commission in
Oh.
Ontario, I'm pleased to move that. Yes.
Do I have somebody to second that? Tracy? Any discussion or questions? Miriam?
Just a question arising, does this influence in any way the insurance policy that the Conservation Authority has to carry with regards to liability?
through you, Madam Chair.
No, it won't influence it, and in fact, it might, because we will have control over more of, because it will be Ganaraska servers in this case, not our, we won't hire full-time staff, but they'll be under our control rather than under the applicant's control who's renting. It may even be looked at more favorably. But it shouldn't interfere with the insurance.
That makes a lot of sense.
Any other questions or comments?
Just a comment, I would imagine that when the budget time comes around, that there might be an item with regards to any expenses involved. Because it would be staff training, staff hiring, that sort of thing.
Yes, through you, Madam Chair. Yes, this will not be implemented for this wedding season because those permits have already been signed, so it will be implemented for the following, and there will be, so again, it won't be necessarily staff training because we would hire outside Smart Serve people. It wouldn't be our own staff.
Contract.
That would, yeah, contract, and then of course there would be revenues from the sale. So. Okay, any other questions? This item? Okay, so I will ask to vote to receive the liquor license. All in favor? That is carried. And next is the 2024 timeline report for section 28.1 applications. Can we move in a seconder for that one, please? Moved by Bruce, seconded by John. Any discussion or questions? Okay, so I will call for the vote. All in favor? And that's carried as well. So other business, we have none that I'm aware of. Any other business?
Can I just ask a question? Madam Chair, may I ask a question to the
Go ahead.
Linda, please? I'm noticing a lot of trees are being removed along 28 Highway. I presume that's all our property that those trees are being removed from, or not?
Through you, Madam Chair. No, that is MTO's property. MTO are getting prepared to do the bridge widening on 401. I believe a few meetings ago, we had said that MTO is expropriated part of the Millennium Conservation area, and that's why we got that beautiful new boardwalk
Oh, okay.
there. And they have also expropriated Port Hope Conservation Area. It will be closed for 5 years. The tree removal they're doing is on their property, and they are getting ready to, that's going to act as a staging area. And eventually, I believe you will see, like years down the road, you will see an interchange going there after the bridge expansion.
Oh,
That is not on our property.
great. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of discussion on that locally. All right, any other new business or other business or any questions, discussion? Okay, so public question period, we do not have anybody today, and we do not have an in-camera. So we are adjourned. Need to move, I move her to adjourn. Adam. 4:18. At 4:18.
That extra crowd thing right there. I was looking at it, I was like, no.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank
And
you.
Next month?
Thank you, yes,
Yes, so next month we'll have we'll be bringing forward the final budget, right? So-
That's that question, I was like, oh, I just lost it.